Welcome to Massachusetts.
Hello, Boston.
Continue on I-93 south for half a mile.
Nice and smooth and straight.
Little change of scenery for the weekend. We're now in Massachusetts. Went down to visit my parents, and then these guys have a thing going on tomorrow. What's happening tomorrow?
A little mysterious event called the bridal shower. A bunch of women getting together, doing who knows what.
We don't actually know.
We don't know.
We do have to make an appearance.
We have to be there.
But then after that,
it's nothing but 4 irons, going about 250.
into the fence.
Into the fence. That feels good though. When you hit it like and actually make contact, it feels good.
It's definitely better than the last time we came to the driving range. I think this is the first time I've slept in my van in like almost 3 weeks at this point. It's definitely been a little while. I have an all new mattress in here, which this will be the first time I've slept on. It's not technically new. It was Shannon's old mattress from her van, and we just cut it up to size and fit it in here, and it definitely fits a lot better than my old one, and it is way more comfortable, so I'm looking forward to it. My parents only have a 2-bedroom condo. It's pretty small, so Catherine and Morgan are staying in the extra bedroom, and I'm just staying out here. I figured this was better than sleeping on the couch or like on an air mattress on the floor or something like that. I'm looking forward to it. I really miss hanging out in my van. I know I mentioned that a little bit in the last video, and I'm looking forward to getting back on the road. Shannon is actually also visiting family tonight. She just conveniently, randomly has family like very close to where I grew up, so she's hanging out with them and spending some time with them for the night, and then tomorrow we're all going to go over to the bridal shower. That's kind of a little bit of a thing that's going on here. We're just making an appearance there, and then Morgan and I are hoping to play some golf, but I guess that'll be part of tomorrow. I also want to spend some time in this video talking about the Pop Top and the NV200 and what that's been like for me over the last year and a half since I've had this van. I've had this van for over 18 months at this point, so I'll get into that, but first I'm going to get some rest. He thinks he's being funny. For those of you that don't know, the Pop Top on my van was done by a company called GTRV. They're based out of Northern California. I'm going to put a link in the description below to their website, as well as a link to an email address so you guys can reach out to them if any of you guys are considering a Pop Top or any sort of professional conversion to be done on a van. They do a lot of great work on a lot of different vans, between NV200s and Mercedes Metruses and ProMasters and Transits and Sprinters as well. Quite a few different vans, and I think they do a really good job, guys. I've been very happy with my Pop Top overall to this point, and I am going to talk more about the Pop Top a little bit later. Before I get into that, though, I do want to mention the NV200. I know a lot of folks have asked me about the reliability of this van and how things have been working for me so far. I did buy this van new. It's a 2018. I bought it. It was like one of the last of the 2018, so I got it in early 2019 and ended up getting a pretty good deal on it, so I was happy about that. It only had about 200 miles on it when I bought it, and it now has just under 30,000 miles, so about a year and a half I put just under 30,000 miles. And so far, so good in terms of like maintenance and repair costs, which I think is to be expected. Like, I haven't had this van for that long. It's a pretty new van, so it's tough for me to say how things are going to look in terms of long-term reliability. I do know that one of the issues that could have potentially come up to this point is tire wear. I know a lot of folks ask about that, and they say the tires tend to wear prematurely, especially the stock tires, but I haven't actually had that issue. My tires still have quite a bit of life on them. I did have to put a new one on the other day because I picked up a bunch of nails and destroyed one of my tires on the highway a while back, but I still have 2 of the original tires on this van, and they still have at least 5,000 miles of tread left on them, if not quite a bit more. So tires have been okay. You know, I haven't noticed them wearing prematurely or anything like that, and In terms of other maintenance stuff, I've got my oil changes every 5,000 miles. I did have the maintenance package on this van when I bought it, so I had like 4 free oil changes already kind of built into the deal, and then I've done a couple since then, and tire rotations, and that's pretty much it. So, overall, I do think that it's a pretty solid van. And, the reason that I chose the NV200 was for the warranty, the 100,000 mile, 5-year warranty. That was a big part of it. And also because, I wanted a pop top, and NV200s, I think there are more options for pop tops on NV200s than most of the other compact cargo vans. So I guess that brings us to the main question here of this video regarding the pop top and if it is worth it to get a pop top camper van. And I think that the answer to that question really varies on individual circumstance. There are a lot of things at play and a lot of things that might influence whether or not it is worth it. For me, it was 100% worth it, in my opinion, to get this van here, and I have a number of reasons for that. I think reason number one is that the pop top on this van has made this space so much more comfortable. It's made it into almost like a little house, into a living space for me. Back when I had my Element years ago, I never found myself sitting inside the Element and just hanging out and like working on videos or whatever it is. It was very rare that I would be able to sit in there for long periods of time and be comfortable. I was hunched over, didn't really have a good setup, it just didn't have a lot of space. That being said, the Element is not that much smaller than the NV200. A base NV200 without the pop top, I mean, it's pretty similar size in terms of length. The rear cargo area is maybe like 1.5 feet bigger or so, but they're comparable sizes. They're both really, really small vehicles. And adding the pop top to this thing has really made a world of difference. And not even just when the top is popped. When it's up like this, that's great. You have standing room, tons of room to be able to move around. It's amazing. But even when it is down, I think that's my favorite feature of this pop top, and it's something that I never really expected. But because of the way that GTRV does their tops like this, it does give you an extra 6 inches or so of headroom even when the top is down. So even in stealth mode, I can be very comfortable just hanging out in here. I can sit up all the way. I can even almost stand up in stealth mode and lock my knees. I could like put on a pair of pants or something like that. These are things that I could never have done if I hadn't done the pop top on this van, and especially that I couldn't have done back when I had the Element. So for me, reason number one is that the pop top just makes the space into a very, very comfortable living space. For two, I think standing room is the second reason. I think that's the reason that everybody would go with a pop top. That's one of their main reasons. And I gotta say, having the ability to stand up and open the windows like this and be able to enjoy the ocean breeze parked here, it's like nothing else. Again, that adds to what I just said. It makes this into a very comfortable living space. And reason number three for me is that it actually adds a second bedroom as well, and I've had friends come join me on the road and actually sleep in the upper bunk of this van here, and they've been pretty comfortable, and it's been nice being able to have that option to be able to have guests come join me. For reason number four, I just really like how it looks. I think that it looks pretty cool. Even when the top is down, it has like a really nice, like interesting looking profile, and also when obviously the pop top is up, like looks pretty cool. And I've never really been one who cares much about aesthetics. Like my number one thing is I want it to be a practical, comfortable living space. That's definitely the most important thing, but it doesn't hurt that it also just looks pretty neat. And I think that kind of brings me to my fifth and final reason for why I think the pop top here is worth it, and that's that I'm able to maintain a really small profile van while, like I said earlier, still having a comfortable living space. I think that that isn't one of my top reasons here. I rank these 1 through 5. They're not really in any particular order. They're just a bunch of random reasons that I think are good for this. But obviously having the small profile has been great. Being able to maintain excellent gas mileage. I'm still able to get 25, 26 miles to the gallon in this van. And obviously the gas mileage did go down a little bit when I added the top because it adds a little bit of a drag going on. And when I'm driving it, it is kind of like, almost like a convertible. You can kind of feel a little bit of a draft. You can hear the wind noise, very similar to what it's like driving a convertible. So obviously my gas mileage went down a little bit. But that being said, it still is very, very good compared to most full-size vans. And I'm also able to drive it around major cities really easily, and it's super easy to kind of maneuver and to park in densely populated areas. Getting into parking garages as well is a huge benefit. I have just under 7 feet of clearance in this van right now, and that's a heck of a lot better than most full-size vans. I'm still very happy with this choice of van, and I know that it is really, really small. And for Shannon and I, long-term, to be on the road like full-time in this thing, I think that would be pretty difficult. For a few weeks at a time or for a month at a time, I think it's totally fine. But when you start thinking about really long term, we would probably want something bigger for the two of us, especially considering that I have quite a few hobbies, particularly like surfing and stuff. My things take up a little bit of space, so I do have to be very mindful of that. But that being said, for like a solo traveler, for like a minimalist couple even, this is a pretty awesome van to be on the road full time in, and it's even better camper van if you're just taking it on trips every once in a while. So I'm a big fan of GTRV and the work that they do on all of their vans, everything from their NV200s to their Mercedes Metruses and the Transits and everything else that they do in between. They have quite a few different options, and they do a lot of really good work with their interior conversions, their cabinetry and everything like that. But then obviously the thing that they're most known for, which is their pop tops. They're just really well done, and I've been very happy with mine. In terms of any issues that I've had with it, there really haven't been too many. I know I mentioned before that it does add a little bit of drag, so my gas mileage went down a little bit when I put it on. That's really the only issue that I noticed there. And then, you know, in terms of price, obviously, like that's one thing. I think that's probably one of the biggest concerns for most people, is that they gotta look into it. These things generally run from around like $8,000 to $9,000, I think, somewhere in that area. If I did get mine at a little bit of a discount because I work with GTRV, but I still had to pay for it, and you know, it is what it is. Like, it definitely is a little bit of an upfront cost. But the benefits that I gained from doing the pop top on this van, they make the cost 100% worth it, and I wouldn't do it any other way. And you know, hoping to enjoy the next however many months it is that I'm going to have this van. I know I've said before that Shannon and I will eventually get a new van, a new vehicle, and consolidate into it and kind of figure it out from there. But there is still some time left that I'm going to have this van, maybe a year, maybe a little less than that. It's really hard to say, but I'm going to enjoy every second of it because I really do love this van. And I would definitely recommend checking out GTRV, guys. I'm going to put a link in the description below to their website, like I said earlier, as well as an email address. Feel free to reach out to them, and they'll get back to you with any information that you may request as soon as they can. I'm proud to be partnered with GTRV. They really take pride in the quality of their work, and I can't say enough good things about them, guys.
After 3, someone's looking at Bird and someone's just trying to get their head out of their butt. Oh, quite as slow as I thought.
I think your power butt's louder than your barking.
My bark's a little bit too loud.
I'm gonna have to get real creative here. Like that. Oh my gosh, this is bad.
You guys remember in Space Jam when those little aliens thing take the powers from the NBA players? I pretty much Space Jam Nate last night and took all his powers. It seems like he's slowly regaining them. So.
It's not good. We're through 6 right now, and we're all square. I am giving Morgan a stroke on every hole, but it's making things interesting, that's for sure.
He shouldn't have done that. Last hole.
We're all tied.
We're all tied up.
Winner take all.
I think you're buying Popeyes, bud, because I'm about to take this. Oh, yep, that's it. Game time.
Are you trying to go off-road in here?
This is where my ball usually ends up. Oh, there it is. Found it. I did it too.
All right, Tiger. That was a good out. That's a good shot. Oh, come on. That was a chance.
That was it.
Camera doesn't lie. Oh, do it.
I gave up. I'm sorry. Tell me that's not videotape.
It is.
We need Popeye's chicken.
Something about winning on the last hole after Morgan just completely implodes. It's not as satisfying. I think that pretty much sums it up for this one though, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to y'all in the next one.
Have you seen the alien Sasquatch yet? Have you seen him? It's not a Homo sapien, you know, mythical creature. It's an alien. Alien Sasquatch. It's an eye out for them horns, but they're out there!